And welcome back. While everyone is focusing on Thursday, of course, and Black Friday with those business specials, local business owners, also the small business folks, have some things they need to focus on as well. We're joined now by Ben Kelly from First Bank, who joins us with some tips on how to thrive as a local business, especially some of those smaller mom and pop shops that really want to do well and capitalize on this holiday season.
So I think long term, when you look at how do small businesses be successful, the important part is to set goals. I think all too often businesses and people get set routines and they're busy, but they're not busy being productive. So I think the very important part for small business owners is think about what are your goals, not just short term, but also what are your long term goals. And when you think short term goals, think about what do I want my sales to be coming up this Saturday? What do I want my sales to be by the year end? And then even more importantly, take a step back and think about what do I want my goals to be for 2017. And then even further, take a step back and look at what 2017 into 2022 is going to look like. Because if you really think about
That's a mouthful. Yeah. 2022.
2022 coming up,
It seems so far away, right?
It does seem very far away. Even saying it out loud sounded a little funny. But think about what are those goals. Because I think about the pager business. And if you think about that, those people were booming for a long time. And all of a sudden, this little invention called the cell phone came out. And people went, I don't need pagers anymore. So be thinking long term about what does my company look like? What are the challenges my company might face, and what are even some new products and changes I may need to implement now to make sure that I'm around for 2022.
What are some of those survival rates of some of the small businesses?
Sure. So 79.9% who started in 2014 survived until 2015. Then furthermore, about 50% make it to that 5-year mark, and then about a third will make it to 10 years or longer.
How important is it to have relationships and establish maybe just some good advisors or folks that can kind of just help you along the way?
I think it's very important, and I know it's very hard for small business owners who may not have a CFO or controllers, because there's a lot of people that are 1 or 2 man shops out there doing the best they can. I think it's very important that you have advisors and people that you trust to understand your business. And obviously those should include your banker, but also think about who are the other people you trust in your life. It could be your parents, it could be other business owners, it could just be friends and family that know you, know how you work. Try and make sure that they are aware of what's going on and bounce things off them. You need to have a sounding board, because all too often, if you're in it on the day-to-day, you may not be able to look outside of what's going on.
Right, you kind of have those blinders on, so to speak, so you can't really see that. So what are some other steps that some of these small business owners need to keep in mind to make sure that they do hit that 2020 mark?
I think, importantly, really goals. I think that is, if I talk to any business owner, the ones that are going to make it are the ones that know where they want to go. If you don't know where you want to go, you'll be very busy, and you'll be busy all the time. But being busy and not being productive are two very different things. So be productive, and you be productive by having a goal and working towards that goal.
And we talked about how many of these small businesses there are, I guess, and how important is that to our community to make sure that we have these?
It's very important. So there are 28 million small businesses in the United States that accounted for 54% of sales in the United States. And then if you look even further back on that, that 55% of all jobs are created by small business owners, and 66% of net new jobs since 1970 are from small business owners.
Wow.
Yeah,
those are some impressive numbers.
It's very important.
And small still is maybe 1 or 2 locations, it's not just a single standalone
Small
store.
is actually defined as less than 500 employees. So
oh, wow.
It can be, but I think of the 28 million, 23 million are single companies. So one person in that company, or about 23 million of the 28 million people we talk about.
Definitely taught me something. Well, thank you so much. Again, this is Ben Kelly from First Bank, who joined us in studio. And of course, we'll put all this information on our Fox 2 app, so be sure to download that. And we'll be right back after this break.